Hey guys, it's Beauty Queen, and you can't really see me. I'm having another camera bag day. That's better. I know it's Sunday, and my hair's a mess. That's why, because it's morning and it's Sunday. And I'm making a Saturday video, or making an uploaded one. But I had my friend over yesterday, and she didn't go home until nighttime, so I didn't have time to film. So I'm sorry, I'm filming now for you. Refreshing. So I was thinking, what can I make a video about? I was thinking, right, I haven't made how to look after a mouse video yet for my breeding area, but also I think I'll do that when there's a male in there so that I can do it from breeding. So then I thought, what now? I could just have a sit down and talk, but that's kind of boring. I need to focus on you, not outside. I could have I keep looking around, makeup tutorial, but then I was like, if I have a makeup tutorial, I have to take it off before school tomorrow, so it's no use in even putting on makeup. I can't do that. And then I realised I have 10 days of school left. I finished school on the 14th, and today's the 4th. So really, I only have 10 days until I finish school. And in that 10 days, I'm only going for 8 days of that, because you think about it, the weekend, today's the 4th, so I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's 5 days. That takes me through to the 9th. I take 2 days off for the weekend, meaning then I only have a couple of days. My prize giving is it's meant to be the last day of school, and technically the Tuesday is the last day of school, but if parents want the kids to go to school on the Wednesday, they can, because so they can get out of the house. But my mum's working, so it doesn't really matter. So I finish on Tuesday. So I decided, even though I haven't finished being a year 8 technically yet, far out, I decided I'll still do a how to survive being a year 8. On my old channel I did how to survive being a year 7, and I think I did a year 6. But this is this channel, so I'm going to be going from 8 all the way through until I finish high school. I'm not going to college. I'm finishing high school when I turn 16. So I'll be year 11. I could go to year 13, but I want to get out of school as fast as I can. So since I'm 16, I'm leaving school. But other than that, I thought, why not do it now? So let's do how to survive being a year 8. Alright. Being a year 8. Ugh. I'm cold. The first thing you need to know about being a year 8, when you start a year 8, is if you're going back to the same school, normally if you're going to a if you're going to go to a primary school that goes from year 1 to 8, and you've been then and you went there for year 7, you'll still be with your normal friends and stuff. If you're moving school, there's going to be a whole different video on that, for how to survive moving to a new school, which I will probably be making next week. So stay tuned for that one. I am going to make a playlist called School Playlist, and that's basically going to be all my how to survive and all that sort of stuff, all school related talkings. So yeah, I have playlists for basically everything. If you go to my profile, you can see that. So if you want a certain subject, I have playlists for it basically. All my videos are in a playlist, by the way, so I'm organised. If you're going to go to that same school, that is awesome. If for some reason your primary or the school you go to goes from years 1 to 7, then you'll be leaving as a year 8. Therefore, you'll probably be getting bumped up to the high school, or you would have left as year 7. Either way, if you're going to the same school for when you're year 8, you'll have your friends there unless they move. There's always going to be new people show up at the beginning of the year, because that's what happens. And in the middle of the year, and every time. There's always going to be someone new at the school. So always be nice and considerate and think, who do I want to be friends with this year? The teachers. If you're going to the same school, you'll probably already know your teachers. If you're going to a school from year 7 to 8, if there's a classroom for 7, 8, you'll be probably with the same teacher you were with as a year 7. Which is kind of confusing my brain at the moment. And I've been to school with that where it goes from year 7 to 14 or 15, whatever it was. And everyone was in their groups. And as a year 7, 8, you were classed as a group, and then you're put into a classroom with the teacher. There's 3 classrooms for 7, 8, and you get put into one of those 3 classrooms, and if you're a year 7, you'd go and meet your teacher and stuff, and as a year 8, you'd go back to that classroom. That's how it was going, but I moved after year 7 back to my old school, so yeah. It can be tough if it's going from year 8 up. You're going to be needing new teachers, you may be making new friends. When you hit year 8 in school, it can be kind of difficult because you're like going through experimental stage, you know. If you haven't experimented as a female with makeup, you may want to as a year 8 because all the other girls are wearing it. You may have been really shy and really a nerd in primary school and decided, hey, I want to be a popular kid, I want to be into some sports. So there's a lot of changes that happen as a year. I want to see from year 8, beginning of year 8 is when most of your changes do happen in your life. You want to experiment, you want to change. And that is good. The world is meant for change. We're not meant to stay one person forever. Like, we're not staying the way our parents wanted us to be. We're going to evolve, which we have to. So, yeah. When you hit year 8, that's when most of the judgmental people are. And that's coming from someone who has been bullied most of her life. There's judgmental people. You get annoyed easily, and I mean easily, with some of the people in your class. You just gotta try and get through that because there are annoying kids. I know, I deal with one. If you've never been bullied before, being in year 8, you're most likely going to get bullied a little tiny bit. don't stress. It's just everyone trying to get into ranks, and they see that if you take being bullied well and you respond, or I guess it's taking it bad because you're responding, you're going to be more likely to be at the bottom of the ranks than up the top. So definitely when they do start ranking, which normally it's about the end of the first week, beginning of the second week of school, being a year 8, that's when the ranking really starts. At any age there's going to be the ranks, but I feel that being a year 7 and then going up to a year 8, the ranking got intensified. Intensified? Is that a word? I don't know. You need to be who you're friends with. If you're friends with someone who's already been at school longer, you're most likely going to be put up in the ranks because you're already friends with somebody. But it is up to you. If you're against bullying and you start being ranked on, you need to respond well and tell them to stop it, or just walk away. Like, there are plenty of bullying videos. I will try and make one day. But yeah, definitely just respond well. Don't respond at all to them with emotions or feelings. Don't cry. I saw a lot of people come as year 8s from different schools and they start being ranked because they've been coming through the middle of the year, so the rank's done, so they'll go try and fit them into the ranks. And they don't cope well, they start breaking down. It's just a horrible scene. So if you're moving through into a year 8 school later on, you're definitely try not to break down, because it does, I'm not going to say annoy the other kids, but it does make things weird when you break down as a year 8, because that's normally what you'd see in like primary school, someone breaking down. Because we're all going to have our breakdowns, but if you're going to break down, I would suggest going to a bathroom where there's not many people, or, a school's bathroom. There's going to be the groups in there, but yeah. Definitely something I find with being a year 8 at the moment. Oh god, I'm going to have to do year 9 at some point, because I'm going to be year 9 in 2017. God. I can tell you almost certainly now that I have seen so much bad stuff going on when you're year 8. As I said before, everyone's experimenting, but when you get to year 8, it's like that's when the drugs start coming in. And it's so hard to think that year 8s are doing drugs, but when you think of it, a year 8 is when they're 13 years old. They're turning 13 the year they're a year 8. And it's just, I don't know, it's just not nice. I myself do not do drugs. I don't want to do drugs. But, like, I know a couple of kids in my class, I think, do drugs. I know a couple of people who talk a lot about drugs in class, and I don't know if that's just because they're boys or because they are doing it, but around year 8 is when the drugs do start coming in. So I'll definitely try to stay clear of that. Like, if you've got a boyfriend who's doing drugs, don't go to a party with him and do drugs, That's just stupid. You're being low. Drugs fuck up your life. And if you ever plan on having kids, do not do drugs ever, because it can fuck up your freaking wanting to have kids. If you're a male, it can kill your baby making stuff. If you're female, you may be killing your eggs and not being able to have kids when you want them later on in life. That brings me to the next thing, relationships. As a year 8, you're going to want to date older people. I know I have. as in a year I want to date older people. But as a year 8, you definitely want to date older people. People in as a year 8 aren't that good because the boys are hormonal, they're going through body changes, they're going through changes. Boys aren't that pleasant to deal with anyway when you're the same year. You don't want to go down here, and so you're going to be wanting to do older people. And that comes with regrets. So if you go to an old girls' school, like, I don't want to name any schools, but I'm going to. So say you go to, I'm just going to say the one that I know has the highest pregnancy rates, because a lot of my friends who've gone there have gotten pregnant. So I'm going to just say it. Say you go to girls' high. You're teaming up with boys' high a lot. You may date a boys' high student. And I know a lot of year 7s and 8s. We're talking about year 8s, Phoebe, not year 7s. Blah, blah, blah. I know a lot of year 8s who go there do get knocked up. And they will most likely go for an abortion, which, don't get me started on abortions. You're murdering someone. But you can't really afford to be pregnant as a year 8. You know, you've still got your life ahead of you. But it does happen. You're going to want to have sex. It is illegal until you're freaking 16, guys. So don't do anything illegal. But there are a lot of things that can happen. You try alcohol, which is also illegal as a 13-year-old. You try alcohol, you get a little tiny bit too tipsy because it's your first time or whatever. You go to your boyfriend and he's older than you and he takes advantage. And I'm not going to say that it's not your fault if you do have sex as a year 8, because it takes 2 to tango, but you are under the influence of alcohol if you're going to do it while drunk. You're under the influence of hormones. Not an excuse if if your parents find out and go, oh, you know, I'm under the influence of hormones. That will not be accepted by your parents. But yeah, the schoolwork. I shouldn't be talking about the schoolwork. The schoolwork can get a bit harder. For me, I'm working really hard at schoolwork in math. But when people get to year 8, I see a lot of people struggle in their math. And to me, it's like, it's getting a bit too hard for some people. For me, it's really easy because I've been brought up in math and reading and writing, you know. Though if you put me in a science classroom, I'd probably set the thing alight because I wouldn't know what to do. And I know a lot of people who fail at maths and stuff are really good at science. So we all have our subjects we can and can't do. But if you can't do a subject, you know, you struggle, when you get to a year 8 level, you can find it a bit harder, you know. Everything, you're going up in the levels and it's going to get harder. But don't worry about that. What next? Groups. Alright, the last subject I'll talk about is groups. So we all know the normal groups in primary school. You have the cool kids and all the other kids. That's basically a primary school. As a year 8, you're not yet in high school. You're in the intermediate level, which is 7 and 8. High school is when you're year 9. My classroom is basically a high school classroom because we have 7, 8, 9, and 10s in my classroom. Not all schools are going to be like that, I'm afraid, but my school is a low budget school. I have to go, this is the closest school to me, so I have to go to this one because it's the closest one to me at the moment. but it is a low budget school. So they've got like the primary schools like what years new entrants, and you have years 2 and 3. No, you have new entrants. I've gotten confused. Anyway, I just know that there's the different classrooms put together, and then at my school we have the senior school, we have the 7, 8, 9, 10 class, and then we have the 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, if there's every year 15, but there's a year 14 in our school at the moment. So the groups do change. You're going to have the populars, you're going to have the geeks, the computer geeks, the rejects. Most schools will have those emo gothic people, or the scene globe, whatever you want to say. I'm just going to put them all together. My school doesn't. I'm like the only one out. I'd be classed as a reject at my school because I'm an emo gothic person. But there's no other emo gothic people, so I'm a reject. Then you're going to have the brainiacs, which I guess are nerds. You're going to have the sports people. You're going to have so many groups. And when you have so many groups and you go to school, you're going to be, when you're ranked, you're going to put into a group. So say you're really popular, you may be put with the sporty people. At my school, this town that I live in is quite a sports associated town. We had the rugby matches on Saturdays. You know, I've got PE like every single day of the week when I'm at school, and that is true because Monday I have PE, Tuesday I have PE, Wednesday I have double PE, Thursday I have PE, Friday I don't have PE, but the teachers always make us do PE last period, so we have PE a lot. And if you're not sporty, you're gonna hate that sort of schedule like I do. But that is true. That is how it rolls. I think that's all. That's all I can really think of. But oh well. Alright guys, I am going to tell you this in another video. Now I'm just going to do it this video. If they don't watch this video, they'll catch up later. So, I'm thinking when it hits the holidays, I'm thinking of doing daily vlogs because I'm going to have the time. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it yet. I'm just saying I might. The holidays, the Christmas holidays is when I rest for the rest of December, and then when it gets to January, because school starts in February, when it gets to January, I like to do this math workout sessions. So that's happening. So I don't know if I'll do vlogs. I may sometimes, I may not other days. You know, it's 50-50 at the moment. But we'll see how it goes. In the holidays, I am going to be doing a lot more writing, because if you follow me on Wattpad, you know I haven't been writing at all. I say I'm going to write, and then I don't. And it's because school, the last few weeks of school, it's always the hardest because you've got to finish all your schoolwork. You've got to assignments. If you have assignments, you've got to finish them before the holidays. You've got to finish up the school year. You've got to take all your tests. You know, the last couple of weeks is always a stressful time for high school students or people in intermediate or whatever. So at the moment it is kind of hard to update. I will be updating when the holidays come. I will be telling my Wattpad people on that. If you follow me, you'll get the update on your email. But other than that, I'm going to go. And I'm going to put my tripod up because I need to put it away. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Beauty Queen out.